Hey everyone, it's Jana Verbakel, Realtor in London, Ontario. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to follow me on Instagram and check me out on Facebook. A question that I'm asked all the time by my clients that already own their homes is, should we sell our house before we go look for a new one, or should we find that next house and then sell our current one? And that is probably the age-old real estate question. First-time home buyers, I gotta tell you, you guys are really lucky when you're buying because you don't have to consider that. But anyone who owns a home and is thinking about making any kind of transition, whether that's to a smaller home or a bigger home, that is always the question, is what do you do, and how is the best way to approach that? Now, I guess it's an answer and not an answer. It is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Everyone's situation is going to be different. Everyone's financial arrangements and commitments will be different, which is probably one of the biggest drivers of the answers to that question. So the very first thing that you need to do is consult with your lender. Find out what you owe on your home, what access you might have to equity for a down payment on another home, what it might cost you to carry both properties for a short time if necessary. So that is one really big piece of the puzzle. And that's something that I always, of course, have to rely on my client's lender to fill in the gaps. And we really use that information to then formulate a plan. Now, the tip that I give to my clients, and what I find is that there's two fears. One of the fears, if you sell first, is, well, what if we sell and then we don't find something that we like, and then we're stuck with no home at all? And that's really scary for some people. So I tend to find anyway that most people like to buy first, and that's because they want to find something that they love more than the home that they're in now, and that they know where they're going to be. But of course, the scary part of that is not knowing exactly how much you're going to get for your house, whether your house is going to sell at all. And of course, that can be potentially a riskier situation where you're not able to close. So how do we really address that with a client who wants to buy first and then sell? So of course, again, there are dozens of moving parts to this equation, but the best advice I can give to someone who needs to be able to know where they're going to be. So you want to be that buyer who buys first and then sells your home. Do not start looking at houses until your house is 90% ready to put on the market. You know, a lot of people, I think, sort of jump the gun and they start looking at houses and they find one they love, and let's say they make an offer and it's accepted, and now they're in a position where they need not kind of want to and see what happens. They need to sell the house that they live in, and what ends up happening is that they forego a lot of the small improvements and changes that will maximize the dollars they get for that property. And I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever met a seller who tells me that they don't want to maximize the price that they sell their house for. It's your investment. It's your, it's a big part of your financial picture. So that is something I always tell my clients is, let's actually get a plan together for your current home. Let's get it 90% of the way of where it needs to be, so that when you find your dream home, it's a matter of just doing a few last minute things, packing up those extra couple of things, figuring out a place to put the dog toys and the kids' toys, maybe painting a room if need be. But the point is you should be almost at the finish line before you ever go and look. Otherwise, unfortunately, and I've seen it happen a lot, you're going to be in such a rush to get your house on the market that you're just going to put it on the market and potentially leave thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on the table. And I don't like to see that happen to anyone. So anyway, that's the advice that I can give you. So I hope that helps if you're in that situation. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below. I'm here to help. Hope you have a great day.